and they still smell good, so that's good. Hey everybody! Okay, so it's been a long time. Let's just go ahead and get into this review. Hoka One One Clayton 2. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to start with this shoe. There's so many things I like about this shoe, and then there's so many things that I'm just like, dang, they really missed the mark on this shoe. Hopefully the next version is going to be even better. And just in case you're curious, I still have the original. So with the Hoka shoes, you're still gonna get that active foot frame. It's basically like a bucket seat for your feet. Can't go wrong there. I mean, bucket seats are comfortable, right? Whoop whoop. You still have the oversized active foot frame for the sole, provides nice stability without being an actual stability shoe, so that's really great. And you still get that 4mm drop from the heel to the toe. Woo! So let's go ahead and just dive right into those pros and cons I felt about this shoe. And let's just go ahead and get it out there. I am not paid by Hoka or by anybody, so this is just my honest review on this shoe. All right, can we keep going? Yes? Okay, let's go and get started. So one of the big pros I really like about the shoe is that it is still responsive. It's not plush, it's not rated as balanced, it is just your overall great responsive shoe. I took it on trail runs, I took it on road runs. I just overall really enjoyed how responsive this shoe was to most terrain. I say most because I never really got to go on the rocky hills like the Sound of Music or something like that, but I bet this would do well in that terrain as well. Colors. I really love the color of this shoe, and there are multiple colors to choose from. I think there are 5, and then that's not even including the 2 Oiselle colors that are specially featured just for the Clayton 2 shoe. Woo, they're amazing. The heel locking in this shoe is great. I never had any problems with my heel slipping in and out. I never had to use the second eyelet for this shoe to make sure that my heel was locked down, that my foot wasn't slipping back and forth, so that was really great. Breathability. This shoe has lots of breathability, especially in those hot summer days, which we had this summer. Boy, when it was like 80+ degrees, I never felt like my feet were swelling to the point of uncomfortability. Is that a word? Uncomfortability? I never felt like my feet were swelling. I felt like the sweat was escaping, and it definitely kept my feet nice and cool and comfortable like a cucumber. Not that my feet turned green, because that would be gangrene, right? And that's just really gross. So no, none of that. Nope. And yes, it does have a slightly wider toe box, which I am so ecstatic about. Thank you. We're finally going in a great direction. I love that feature. I love it when toe boxes are actually wider instead of narrow, like little tiny heels. I'm not running in heels. I don't think you are either. So let's keep on the movement of wider toe boxes. Yes. And just so you can see the difference, as minute as it might be, here you go. While there's not a lot of difference between the Clayton 1 and the Clayton 2, you can definitely see that the Clayton 2 is slightly wider in the toe box versus the Clayton 1 is longer and narrower. With that being said, let's get on to the cons of this shoe. Okay, so unfortunately I did have some cons, and I bet one of the things you're wondering about is, did they fix the blister problem? Well, let me tell you my trick on that in just a few seconds. But first, let's talk about the early stage meta rocker, or the lack thereof. Does anybody else feel like the early stage meta rocker is just starting to vanish from the Hoka shoes? I mean, where's it going? Maybe it's going to outer space or something like that, to the frontiers unknown. I don't know, but bring it back. I like the early stage meta rocker. And while I still feel it in this shoe, I don't feel it as much as I used to. Also, with the lack of the early stage meta rocker, I also felt like my feet squished into the shoe more than I wanted to, which meant that even though it is still a responsive shoe, I felt like it just kind of sunk into the shoe more, which then made it more difficult to propel myself forward. Does anybody else feel that way? You tell me. Am I the only one that feels like the meta rocker is starting to just disappear? Or is it just, is it something that's actually happening? That's my cat. Okay, so let's talk about those blisters. The blisters. Okay, so did I experience blisters when wearing this shoe right out of the box? Absolutely. And it hurt. It was not fun. But, okay, so what was my trick for solving this? Well, first I tried duct tape. Did that work? Nope. And then I tried moleskin on my feet and on the shoe. Did that work? Nope. So then I got creative and I was like, well, maybe it's the actual insole itself. So yes, if you thought, did she cut her insole? I did. Let me show you. This is what my insole looks like now. You can see where the duct tape is, and I tried to fix the problem, which did not work. And you can also see where I took off part of the insole. The reason being is because I discovered for my feet that the insole went up at an angle, and then there was that ridge. It dug into my feet. It hurt, and it was this harsh rubbing constantly on my feet, and it was just painful. So I took it off. I said, voila, there you go. And it solved the problem. I couldn't believe it. It was just whoosh, gone. And now I don't have a blister problem with these shoes at all. Ever. However, I did find a problem with the insoles itself, and it kind of goes into 2-in-1 cons about this shoe. One of the cons being that the insole is slightly thicker and a little more plush than the original one, which is all great and fine. I love that feeling of having an extra cushion on your run. It does leave a little less room in the toe box area. So you're thinking, why does that matter? There's also not a lot of volume in this shoe, especially once you get up to this toe area. Yes, it is slightly wider. However, because it angles in, your toes still get a little squished, and there's really not a lot of room for your toes to kind of breathe and spread out a little bit for that natural splaying feeling. With that being said, anybody that's looking to put orthotics in one of these shoes, I think is going to find it a little difficult because of the lack of volume in this shoe. I tried putting super feet in these shoes when I was still trying to figure out the insoles, and that is how I discovered the lack of volume in this shoe. Do I think that it's a major con for this shoe? Totally depends on your preference. For me, I would love to see a little more volume in this shoe on both the width and the height of the shoe. Lastly, and it has to be said, even though it's not that big of a deal, I do want to address the weight of this shoe. So for my size, the Clayton 1 weighs in at 7 5/8 ounces, which is about 218 grams, and the Clayton 2 weighs in at 7 7/8 ounces, so about 225 grams. So even though that is not a lot of weight, to put it in perspective, if you weighed 180 pounds, that would be a 5-pound weight gain, so 185 pounds. Do I think this is a make or break on the shoe? Absolutely not. It's just something to be noted that it is getting a little heavier with the shoe. So once again, it's like, Hoka, please do not increase the weight of the Clayton 3. We love you. Don't do that. All right, guys, so that wraps up this review of the Hoka One One Clayton 2 shoe. Overall, I really like the shoe. It's been a great shoe to get me start running again. And this is the shoe that I ran on the 10K Snoqualmie Valley Trail Run. And it did great. It's a trail run. It's a compressed dirt gravel road. Loved it. And I still use it on my trainings today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you tried this shoe yet? What do you think? Are you looking forward to the Clayton 3 shoe? Are you kind of like, I'm looking elsewhere these days? I'd love to know. Have a great time out there and stay safe. Bye.